Hey there, everybody. So thank you for stopping by. Thank you for being patient. Yeah, the cow in the picture on my thumbnail. Let me make sure I'm not hitting this too hard here. There we go. The cow in the picture on my thumbnail was taken at the where the Braves used to play. I went there back in 2010, the summer of 2010, and I took the picture and found that a long time ago, and it so then I just learned how to. I just found a Photoshop app on my phone. I was playing around with it, and that's how I made that. I was kind of inspired by Bob. Bob has really inspired me a lot in a lot of ways. Hey there, Lumpy Dog and V-Stag and Guppy Crib and Antoine Smith, Kevin Hyatt down the wormhole is here and ready. Freshwater Aquatics, thank you for stopping by here. Richard Rocks, thank you everybody for being here. Thank you everybody for taking time out on your Monday night. Am I a rancher? No, I'm not a rancher. My family does own a farm, but I don't live on it. I live on a third of an acre, so I raise some vegetables, but that's about it, and a dog and some fish. So I am not a rancher. But also, Antoine, I think the definition of being a rancher is that technically, I think I've heard this somewhere, that in order to be considered a ranch, there we go. You have to be you have to be west of the Mississippi River. Yeah, Lumpy Dog. I do see a clown right here in the reflection on the window, so I'm pretty sure that this clown will scare the other clowns away. So Lumpy Dog, I set it up this way for you, just so that you could be on the lookout for all the clowns outside. And there's a light back there that will be able to help us to look out for the clowns. So I thought that was I don't know. I just figured I would change things up a little bit. Oh, Mikey Myers in the window. Yeah, a little hockey mask showing up. It'd be pretty crazy. But this is the same room that I usually stream in most nights, just a different angle. And I think I was noticing that it'd be pretty easy to have a pretty nice background back there. Pretty easy to put a little poster up right here. I could talk about it, point to it. You know, very low tech kind of stuff. Yeah, Antoine, I'm not afraid of clowns. My mom thinks I'm afraid of clowns, but I'm not. But the movie It by Stephen King, based on Stephen King's story, it's a pretty creepy movie. But yeah, and actually this year at school it was a pretty rough year being a teacher. Those of you that are teachers in here, I know if Debbie's in here, I know she's a teacher, and a few other people are teachers as well. But this year was definitely a crazy year for teachers. We dealt with the clowns. We dealt with the clowns. We dealt with the slime. We dealt with dabbing, and we dealt with the fidget spinners and the water bottle flipping. It was just a crazy year. So I'm glad that we got through it safely, and the only clowns are talking to you right now on this live stream tonight. So hey there, AMA Aquatics. Just want to let you know, AMA, I am subscribed to you. So I did my part in trying to get you to 100 subscribers. So make sure everybody in here tonight that you all subscribe to everyone. I'll go back at the end of the stream and make sure if there's anyone new that I haven't seen before, to make sure I'm subscribed to people and check out for content and stuff. I'll subscribe to anybody that has fish content. Adam C asks, what parameters would you recommend for guppies, celestial pearl danios, panda cory, bristlenose plecos, and cherry shrimp? I find most of those, for the most part, are pretty tolerant of some stuff. Bristlenose plecos like to have like driftwood in the tank for tannins, which would have a lower pH. Cherry shrimp kind of like to have higher TDS, or total dissolved solids, a little bit, and calcium in the form of eggshells is great. Panda cories, I find anywhere from high 6, like 6.8 or so, 6.6 to 7.8, 7.6 or so. Oh my gosh, yeah, thanks, you're right. Life as a teacher with social media, it's just made things go crazy. So lots of pearl danios. I do have some of those. I just have my water right out of the tap, which is somewhere in the high sixes for the pH. TDS is really low, around like 125 coming out of the tap. Water temperatures, all of them like it basically in the 70s is pretty good. Between I like 74, 76 is a nice, pretty safe range. Hey, welcome, Ray's Aquaria. Hope to see you on Wednesday night at the Fish Club meeting. So any of you all from mine and Ray's local fish club, I really hope that you're on here. Glad Suki says, I'm glad to have preschoolers, although you would be shocked with some of them. I know, you're absolutely right. Is it Alhana, Suki? I used to work at a daycare, and it is pretty crazy what those kids are watching, what those kids know. I used to work at a daycare for 7 years, and now I'm finally teaching the last of the kids that I worked with at the daycare coming through. I mean, for the first few years, I was teaching some of the kids that I changed their diapers when they were babies at the daycare, so that was pretty funny. Daughter was in preschool. We watched. Wow, that's pretty impressive. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. Oh, Ray's aquarium. I have a funny story for you. I think you'll like this. So, my wife likes to go to Starbucks. I don't. I just don't like it. I don't drink coffee, and I don't really like the company. But my wife likes it, and we always get gift cards to Starbucks for my students for Teacher Appreciation Week at the end of the year and things like that. And it's really cool. It's really nice. So I was giving to my wife, and she obviously uses them. And I pulled up in the drive-thru, Ray, and there was a girl working at the register with pink hair, and I asked her, was like, "Are you Ray?" And she looked at me like, "No." She's like, "Okay." So I thought that was funny. My wife was like, "Who are you talking about?" But whatever, I don't care. I don't get embarrassed easily. So kind of a thing. So it's not really a big deal to me. So yeah, blue snails, blue ram's horn snails would be pretty cool. But I've got to start putting eggshells in my tanks to build up the amount of calcium in my tanks. Rob Hicks, good question. My solar powered air pumps are still working. Yes, it has not rained yet, so I haven't tested the waterproof durability of it. I've not tested the waterproof durability of it. It's been in 90 degree temperatures. Rudu is right. Every girl with pink hair is Ray. That's a very, very good point. It's like Jimmy was talking. Jimmy Whiskey was talking earlier today that every Asian likes Chinese food. He was talking about the kinds of Asian food he doesn't like. That was pretty funny. Yeah, thank you, Nisi, for stopping by. And I know you've had a really busy day, Nisi, with your work's been pretty crazy, and still able to support the fish fam as much as you do. Really awesome person. So thank you very much, Nisi, for all that you do. I really do appreciate it. So definitely a great person. AMA, sorry, I got you thinking about coffee. Now you gotta go take a coffee. I was bad today. I had a Mountain Dew at lunch because we went to one of my favorite sushi places, which is all you can eat sushi, and they happen to serve Mountain Dew, of course. So it's one of the things, like sushi and Mountain Dew just goes together so well, so I couldn't turn it down. Yeah, Ray, actually I did see a fly on the window. Was that you? What time, Ray? That was pretty funny. 9:33. That was. I wasn't really embarrassed. My wife was a little bit, but she's starting to get used to it. All the embarrassing things that I do. So yeah, that's about it. So I'll give it a few more minutes. And let people kind of stroll in here a little bit more before I start talking about my idea. Yeah, freshwater aquatics. Welcome. I thought this was your first stream that you've been on of mine. So welcome. I hope that I don't I'll let you down. I don't have a really cool background like Bob does. I do. It's rolled up over there. My students made it. I just haven't. I ran out of tape to tape it up on the wall. I know, freshwater aquatics. Some people I work with, they were asking me one day, like, so at these fish club meetings, do y'all like not eat fish? I'm like, no, we eat fish, not at the meetings usually, but I eat sushi, I eat fish, I love crab legs, my favorite food. But yeah, I love sushi. But yeah, they were just busting up laughing when I was talking about my local fish club and talking about the Fish Fam on YouTube. Yeah, Kayla, I have a fro and it grows out too. It's really thick, wavy hair. Sushi is amazing. I pretty much my rule is with sushi, the weirder it is, the more I like it. I like the octopus. Oh, I miss because the octopus is only on their dinner menu. I like the octopus, the squid, the red surf clam. I like the salmon, the tuna. I mean, you basically name it, I like it when it comes to sushi. I don't like putting fruits and stuff on that. I think that's really boring. But anyways, this isn't a sushi talk is what it's kind of turned into. But a few months ago, there was a live stream that someone was, I think it was Chaz, Chaz was kind of being a little bit of a jokester, a prankster, and he was kind of lurking, and he made a fake account inspired by sashimi whiskey, and he called it. The basic setup was obviously a type of Japanese food, and then a drink. So I said that I was sushi margarita. So that was mine. Fried guppies. That would be so disgusting. Freshwater aquatics. Some of my students asked me what would a guppy taste like. Maybe it would probably be really horrible and probably only give you like 10 calories of energy, if that. I would think. We are talking about all this sushi here. So, anyways, I guess I'll go ahead and get started about talking about my idea or the basis behind it. That is the entire purpose of this live stream. I want to talk about my idea, and I really want your help to help me to flesh out the idea and work out the kinks and just iron out all the problems I have, and just I want to bounce this idea off of you all, and I want you all to. If you're watching it live, then please, comment in the chat. And if you're watching this on the recording, please feel free to comment below, ask me any questions, any weaknesses you see in my plan. So, let me write this down. 9.22. Obviously, as a Ray, that would be really good, a crayfish boil. So here we go, Lumpy Doug. As a teacher, I love to be able to reach out to the next generation. Obviously, I love the science with my students. I actually play some science parodies for them. And in fact, special for you right now, I'll play one for you all. Just a little example of one. Now, it's not in tune, and I'm not in tune either, but let's see here. What would be a good one? Oh, to the tune of Free Fallin'. So if y'all don't know this, then you need to go look it up by Tom Petty. Each of us has 10 trillion cells. In each nucleus, there's some DNA too, split into strands 2 yards long, tightly wound into chromosomes. These chromosomes give us our traits. Your brown hair that's my special chorus that one of my first year students changed it up from the actual one. And that's just what I've gone with. So anyway, that's an example of yeah, I know kids don't know who Tom Petty is. And kids don't know who Tom Petty is. This dude, I am not Tom Petty. He is way cooler than I am. But anyways, I mean, how many live streams do you get? Live, horrible singer, very novice guitar player. I know, you're right, Antoine. You didn't come to watch me play the guitar. I don't. That's the first time I've ever done this. So anyways, I like sharing my love of science with my students in the next generation. I really like sharing my love of fish tanks and aquariums with my students, and I do kind of shove the fish tanks down their throats because I talk about it so much. Yeah, Mr. Parr is definitely a great. I do know who you're talking about. Antoine has a good, a great parody channel to go check him out. So anyways, love sharing my love of science with them and fish tanks with them. And people always talk about, well, how are you going to be able to, how can we increase the amount of youth and young students or young, people in the hobby? Rucho, I teach middle school science. So then I've been kind of conflicted, I think is the word, because once I get to, so anyways, I'll get to that in a little bit, but I also really like to help out local fish stores, local businesses. I really like to help out small startup businesses. I like to help them a lot. I helped a coworker make a website last year and make a logo. It was a really bad logo, and I really like helping local businesses. I would like to help my local fish club get more people involved in it, and especially if kids can bring their parents, that would be a whole family thing. I think that's a great thing. I mean, how can you go wrong with something that a family can do together, that the kids can learn responsibility through that, and there's so many benefits of it. And I really like sharing science, helping out local businesses, helping out my local fish store, helping out the hobby in general. And like I said in my pop-up stream yesterday, at first I thought about just a complete pipe dream, or I guess you call it a tank dream, was to start a open up a fish store like in 10 years from now. Like, probably would never happen, and then I watched Corey's videos and saw how much went into it, and like, whoa, that's crazy amount of time and money and everything. And so I decided that there's got to be a better way, and I was kind of put that on the back burner for a little bit. What did I do? Oh, so I went to go talk to some guys that work at a local fish store, and I'll be giving more of the details later on in later episodes on my channel, and a lot of different details about this. So it'll be I'm not quite, and they're not ready for me to share all of the details yet. So I went to go meet with them, and one of them said, hey, they were talking to me, obviously, said, hey, you teach middle school, you have an influence and an impact on students and on the future, and would you be interested in a program, like a breeding program where we like give the students a like a 10-gallon fish tank, and then some starter fish like some guppies or whatever, some fish that are easy to get them to breed, and then say, hey, we give them these instructions and stuff, and help them out with getting it set up. And so we give them, all the supplies: the fish tank, the filter, the substrate, maybe the heater, and the fish, and then some cycled water, and say, hey, bring them back. Hey, Bob, thank you for stopping by. And Bob, this idea is kind of inspired by yours, so thank you once again for all your inspiration. So hey, so give them all these supplies, and give them the water and the fish, and say, hey, if you can bring back in like 3 months or 4 months some some of the fry that are at a good size, then we will give you some other fish to try and breed, and kind of try to work your way up the breeding ladder, and go from like guppies to egg scatterers to egg layers, or maybe egg layers to egg scatterers. And root to it would actually be a tank at their house. Obviously it would require some parent permission slips, or parent video permission, things like that. And it would just get them started with just the basics of, hey, here are some guppies, here are some links to some videos on how to do this, here's everything you need to get started, here's some food, breed, and whatever you breed, bring it back to us, and if it goes well, then we'll give you the next stage of fish, or maybe a different type of guppy if that's what you want, maybe a different live bear, or things like that. And then just basically work your way up in difficulty, work these students their way up in difficulty level of breeding fish. And because our thought, when I was talking to these local fish store guys, our thoughts were, if these students, if their hands are busy in fish tanks and breeding fish, then their hands are not going to be busy doing bad things like violence or drugs or things like that. Exactly. Rutu, if we get them into the fish, the very path doesn't run us so well business wise, kind of, he would jump all over it, man. He just step up. Yeah. Slimmy Bay, that's a very good point. And I would be starting this on the local level, but what I'm trying to figure out is how I'd be able to grow this, and how I'd be able to copy it. Because what I would like to do is, like I said, these fish store guys would definitely be on board with helping out with supplying the like a 10-gallon fish tank, sorry, I'm just reading the chat as we're going along here too, trying to keep up with everything else, so I'm making sure that it goes. And yeah, it's if their kids are busy spending their money on fish tanks, they don't have money to spend on their illegal things. Exactly, Ray and Bob. So the fish store guys were saying, hey, we'd be willing to help out with the supplies and things like that, or at least as a source for the supplies, and then definitely give the kids, like, a breeding trio, whatever, I guess, male and 3 females of guppies, to get them going on this breeding project. And I'm gonna say here, get them going this breeding project, and then offer them, like, hey, here's links to some great channels that have some great information on how to breed guppies. Here's some great videos on how to set up your fish tank, and here's all these channels that have all this information that can help you out. And it would be eventually it would work its way up to being like an application process, but at first it would just basically be any students that are interested, that their parents are on board and that sign a permission slip, or even submit a parent permission video, is what I was thinking even, then say, hey, you know, I am so and so's parent and I approve of them doing this project, and then they actually show a video of, hey, look, this is where the fish tank will go. It'll go right here on this table right here. It'd be a great spot. We have a power supply. It's a great spot. And then the student would get on, and then they would start talking about, say, hey, this is a great spot because it's not near a window, although this is right next to a window. Obviously it's a bad example, but they're like, hey, I've done some research. I've watched these channels, watched these videos. I've gotten this information. I know that it shouldn't be near a window so that it's not growing algae like crazy and it won't get too hot. It's near an outlet so I can plug in all of this. And Rob Hicks, what I was thinking of calling it was Hooked on Fish, because when I was in the 3rd grade, my aunt, she's kind of my aunt and my cousin, it's kind of a strange story. She took me to this fishing thing with our local paper, and it was at this pond or whatever, and they gave us these towels like the ones that Corey and Jeremy have on their websites. The slogan was get kids hooked on fishing, not drugs. So I would like it to be called Hooked on Fish, or hashtag Hooked on Fish, like inspired by Bob's hashtag or whatever, tanks for teachers. So anyways, like I was saying, is to have, when I say this, you have to convince the parents way before you convince the kids. It took me years to persuade my fish in the corner. That's a very good point. Thank you for sharing that. And what I find whenever I deal with my students and their parents is that usually the parents will email me and ask me questions. Like in years past, when I used to own reptiles, snakes, and lizards and things like that, and bears, oh my. What was I gonna say? Is the parent will email me and say, hey, my child, because of you, now wants to go get a bearded dragon. What do we do? What do you think? Is that really a good idea? And I tell them, hey, in my experience, whenever students get a bearded dragon, especially, the moms are usually the ones that end up falling in love with the bearded dragon, to the point that their child never gets any time with the bearded dragon, and their student gets frustrated because their mom is hogging their bearded dragon, is walking around the house with the bearded dragon on their shoulder all the time. And that happened in almost 9 times out of 10. I guess it was actually 2 out of 3 times that it actually happened, is that the moms took over the bearded dragons and like loved them like they were little puppies kind of thing, and the students, the boys, usually, I think it was a girl one time, and don't ever get to hang out with their bearded dragon, and the moms just love them. So that's my way that I usually deal with helping with the parents. And so who was it that said that? Fish in the corner, that would be a great, so I was thinking fish in the corner. So here's my idea, here's my thought, is to have like a video series for like getting this going, and it would probably be like unlisted videos, so it's not like taking up content on my channel and things like that, so it wouldn't, like, you all wouldn't have to watch it, or you don't have to watch any of my videos, but I do appreciate you watching them. To have like this video series, like saying, hey parents, this is what we plan on doing, this is what we like to do, this is our goal, this is how we're going to help you out, this is what we need you to do, this is what we need your student to do. And then my plan, Lumpy Dog, what story have you heard before? I'm just curious. Hey Captain Savage, haven't seen you in a while, it's been a while. Hey there, Angel Rays. Just want to say a few hays really quick, but so, and then basically have it all set up so that the like, it's just parents and the students could just go on and watch these videos on like how to do it, what's the responsibility. Hey, Michael's Fish Room, thank you for stopping by. Glad you made it. Michael, you missed it earlier. I was playing a song and singing, so I wouldn't really say you've been missing it. Like my Office Space reference there. But anyways, so that's my thought, is to basically put everything into as much as possible onto a video format on my channel, probably in a unlisted video format, in a series of, hey, parents watch these, students watch these, this is what you need to do, this is the care, this is the setup, this is what's involved, this is our process, this is what we need to do, and here's the teacher in me. Of course, you know, I had to suck all the fun out of it, and I had to make it just educational, of course. And obviously for my local area, so here's what I would do, is for basic grade levels, for each grade level, whatever, I would actually have like little assignment or point things. Speaking of points, lumpy dog, like say, hey, if you do this, you get this many points. You actually work towards a point system to be able to work up to like the next fish. And like the student makes a video, and then, you know, and then shares it with me, whatever kind of thing. The parent obviously gets on the verb and says, hey, I'm the parent, I approve of this video, it's fine if you post this video. And then the student would not be on the screen, their face would not be on the screen at all for complete privacy purposes. But the parent would just go and say in the very beginning, hey, I approve of this being posted. And then the Fish in the Corner, you have some really great ideas. I really like your input you're giving here. What I think you should do is prove to the parents that it isn't bad. So like show it's quiet, doesn't smell, doesn't breed mosquitoes, isn't going to leak, etc. That's what my parents assumed it was. Those are some very good points. So I'm definitely going to have to watch this video to make sure I go over those in the video for the parents. So thank you very much, Fish in the Corner, for those bits of inspiration for that. There you go. But anyways, so that's some great ideas. But so anyways, the student would work and say maybe write like a half-page paper if they're in like fifth, sixth middle school, and write about the fish. And it can't be just copy and pasted from Wikipedia. Obviously, it has to be original content, or make a video about it and say, hey, these are my celestial pearl danios. Hey Ray, thank you for stopping by. I will see you on Wednesday at the local fish club, and I'll be definitely love to be talking about this some more and talk to you about some more details about it too. So have a good night, Ray. And so anyways, the student could write a paper about, or make a video about, hey, these are the celestial pearl danios, they come from this area, they like these water parameters, and make a species video, and then maybe expand upon it and talk about the ecosystem and all the, maybe make a video about water parameters and the science behind that, and the chemistry and all the science that's involved. And it would expose students to science, or expose them to give them practice with writing. It would give them practice with doing research. It would give the students experience with even math, with graphing and results and doing line graphs and things like that. And it's just so many things that that's the teacher in me would like to do. I don't want to suck all the fun out of it, but I think if we kind of just give them like, hey, one little assignment, over like a 3-month period of time, say, hey, make a video about this, and send it to us. And then it wouldn't even have to be a paper format. It could be just in a video. I mean, how it's so much easier. Yeah, Dwayne, I mean, kids these days, I know they're not going to want to write a paper, so I think that's why a video would be even easier, and it would be great. It would be something that they could share with their friends as well over videos, and they could maybe start doing a live video over Instagram, or do a live video over, Snapchat doesn't have videos, I don't think, but maybe they could Snapchat their fish kind of thing, and it's like, hey, you get 1 point for Snapchatting your fish, or whatever kind of thing, or I don't know, just a bunch of ideas out there. And so the different purposes and things that this would help out with is, it would Hey there, JW and Fish Life. Thank you for stopping by. It would get more students in the hobby. It would give them experience and exposure to science and research and all the stuff that goes involved. Um, yeah, Rob Hicks. You're right. I am assuming that they will have a computer and internet. Not all have that, and some just don't care, and that's the problem with the family. And in that case, Rob, a lot of times students I would hope would be able to go to like the local library and get internet access, or if they could always do a paper format as well, you can just write it out kind of thing, um, and just turn it in that way. So that is a good point. Is internet access in my area for the most part? 90, I'd say 98 or so percent of my students have internet access. I know it's not the case, citywide. There are probably more students that don't have internet access, but yeah, I'm reading this, Jonathan. Um, so that was a kid wave. This is a better wave, I guess. But so that's my thought. Fish in the corner, something that would make that explode in popularity, would make it a competition. Great idea. I will make my next comment all about what I was thinking. Just don't have enough characters. Yes, thank you, Fish Corner. That I appreciate any comments or thoughts that you all have. Just post them in the comments below once this video is posted. Freshwater aquatics. I do already have students with aquariums, and some of them stop by my streams, and they learn from my videos. They learn from asking me questions. They learn from watching y'all's videos. Yes, I'm in the South. I say y'all. No, Jonathan, you shouldn't feel bad that you had fish sticks for dinner. I was talking about I had sushi for lunch today. Dwayne, you're also right. I could also give him a chance to do a presentation. But Dwayne, my hope for this is not to just reach out to my students, but to reach out to students in the Richmond area, because this local fish store, these local fish store guys I was talking to, they are easy access to about 2 or 3 counties, and then the actual city of Richmond. Yes, I concur, Bradford Aquatics. Fish in the Corner does have a lot of great ideas. And I really do appreciate all of his feedback, and I appreciate all of y'all's feedback ideas as much as you can help me out with that. So someone said earlier that I would love to donate to this, and here's my, and I'm getting sick of my stomach doing this. I don't like doing this, but when I get to 1,000 subscribers, then I would have the option of turning on super chats. And I personally feel like Jimmy was talking about, Jimmy Whiskey was talking about earlier today. They have he was talking about, how great the fish channel has been and everything, and the super chats, and I'm like, well, if I did super chats, oh please, John, I'm not gonna sing on here. I'm not gonna sing that either. And Fish in the Corner, I'll come back and talk about that idea. That's a very, very good idea. So Rob Hicks, to have that would be like the direction that my super chats would go, and I would be able to go and say, hey, local fish store guys, here's some money that I got from super chats from my awesome YouTube viewers. This is from these people. Go put this in this fund put this towards buying tanks, maybe at cost would be a great thing, I would hope. And say, hey, put this into the supplies for the hooked on fish, and that way the kids would actually be able to get this for free, is what I would hope. All that they have to pay for is the electricity to run, or the parents have to pay for the electricity to run their fish tank. And I would hope that, because they get the fish, so they get the water, so the only thing that they'd be paying for is obviously the expensive stuff, the tank, and maybe get it at $1 per gallon sale in advance. Get DIY filters maybe, so it would stretch it even further. Exactly, Lumpy Dog. The local pet stores get shout outs on videos. So let me scroll up in the chat a little bit so I can talk about a few things. I've never been this far behind in chat. Fish in the corner. He says, so everyone gets a 10-gallon tank and is given a trio of guppies, mystery snails, shrimp, and some moss. After 3 months, have everyone turn to the fish store and see who bred and grew the most or the best. Have like this local fish store and see the fish. This is what I need. So I love about having ideas is like bouncing ideas, like having my idea, then yours grows on, and then mine grows. So here's my little growth on your idea: is have a guppy show for these kids that are in this for these 3 or 4 months. Say, hey, these are the fish that these kids have bred, and this is all that they've learned. And it's just I'm getting really excited about it. If you can't tell. Fish in the corner, definitely you are the idea man tonight. John, I'm not gonna sing that. Rob Hicks, thank you for your support. Angel Rays, I do not currently sell my guppies yet. I'm not at that point yet. Yeah, Kayla, I wish I had more science users that were in fish like I am. Fish in the corner, then go over the science, why some people did better than others. Also local fish stores, get all the extra plants, shrimp, snails, fish. So it's a win-win, and exactly, they'd be getting, you know, a bunch of new fish, and they wouldn't have to pay for it, and they would get advertising kind of thing. They can put their sticker on the tanks and things like that. And I think it's great for the local fish clubs. And then we could also talk about, and here's how it helps out the local fish clubs, is that it would be a place where, hey, you want to come talk about your fish, you want to come, you know, possibly learn more about the fish, or talk to other people in person. For people who don't have internet access, here you go. Come to our local fish club meeting. We meet on the 4th Wednesday of every month, and we talk fish. We have a fish auction, and it's a pretty cool place to hang out if you're a really cool person like I am, right? Dwayne says you could do, wait, where'd it go? You could do an event where the kids do presentations or run their videos, have local fish store people give talks to parents, that sort of thing, invite kids from several schools. Great idea. Thank you, Dwayne. That's a great idea. Echoes Farm in the Weeds says, hi, all great ideas here. It'd be nice if the kids could have kind of a fish club of their own too. That's an awesome idea. I do like that. They could talk to each other about their stuff and trade ideas. I would love that. I would love that too. I would love that now. I mean, I do love a local. That's why I do have that now. Hello, McFly. But yeah, Echoes Farm, thank you for the feedback. It's a great idea. Aquaprentis, welcome. Also, local pet stores get shouts out on video, YouTube vids. And that's what I'm planning on doing with my local fish store Saturday, is giving this local fish store a big shout out to the local area. And I want to build up my channel in the local area with my fish club and help out people in the local area as well. And obviously worldwide, I love having viewers in the UK like Mark, and people in Canada, lots of Canadian viewers, and India. I have a few viewers from India. Really cool. I do appreciate that. Fish in the corner, thanks, Lumpy Dog. I'm 15 and literally living in the world of a kid fish nerd, and I know what the students around me think and the parents. That's why Fish in the Corner, I appreciate your perspective and your ideas a lot. I also do know what it's like to be a fish nerd and get picked on for that kind of thing. But if you own it, they don't have any space to pick on you. How about testing which aquarium plant species absorbs the most nutrients? That would be great research, exactly, DPK, and that would increase the STEM, the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and even art, STEAM. And they can have, you know, the shows, that would be the art aspect with science and with technology of maybe DIY stuff and engineering, make it better and better, and breeding better guppies and making all these changes. Bradford Aquatics, thank you for stopping by. You're probably gone by now. Only thing about a competition is competition all the time. It'd be nice to do some things for fun instead of just having to be competing. You're absolutely right. And I think the competition would be like a voluntary thing that would happen, like, I don't know, once a year kind of thing, so it's not all the time. It doesn't have to get to be too much. Antoine Smith, a DIY heater. I would think if you put water flow going over a tube that has exposed water and put a heat lamp on it, that's my best idea. I'm not sure how safe that would be. Angel, I live in near Richmond, Virginia. So I will be in South Carolina later on this summer for a vacation. I'll be going to Myrtle Beach, so I might be live streaming live from Myrtle Beach. Kayla says, I think a friendly competition would be fun for kids, but then there's kids whose parents take over and they usually get the best products done. But the thing is that, I mean, how much work is a parent really going to do? It's not like the parent could literally take the male guppy and then shove it into the female guppy and you know. But I mean, yeah, the parent could get involved and start doing the fish to water changes and things like that, and but the kid doing the whole purpose of this is getting kid learning and experiencing it and researching it and learning. I already said learning and I already said researching too. It'd be fun for kids. I want to create a fish club here, but I need help. Freshwater aquatics, like what state do you live in, or what country? You don't have to give away too much information if you don't want to. For me, a competition would be a turn off. Yeah, I get that. Sports competition, grades competition. You also run with parents with more money going back and buying more fish to win the competition. That'd be a very good point. That's a very good thing to think of, and that's what I need. I need those, you know, the good and the bad. I thank you, Alhana Suki. I think I'm saying your name correctly. Is that my hopes is that the students would start with this obvious strain like red Moscow guppies or whatever, and then if they end up with blue lace guppies in the end, then something fishy is going on there. No pun actually, that pun was intended, but that's what I would hope. Same problem. My advice would go to your local layers fish store. You can hand out flyers, advertise your channel. That is a good idea. I would definitely talk to your local fish store about that, see if they're fine with that. See if you're handing out with flyers or things like that. Facebook group is a great place to start it up being virtual and stuff, and having like Google Hangouts for your area, and then people might be more and more interested with starting a local fish club in person. The problem I've found with starting local fish clubs is that the most difficult thing is finding a meeting place for people to meet up. For instance, we have a local fair that does a kids division competition for fish tanks. It helps bring a lot of attention to the hobby. That's really cool, Aquaprince. I'm kind of jealous of that. Freshwater Aquatics says, I'm in 13 middle school and I love fish so much, but I know a lot of people at my school don't care for fish and think it's weird. So I think it would be a good idea to have a competition. Right, I think, like, me as a teacher, because I just take all of the nerdiness and all of the bullying and stuff, and like all the kids like, oh, being, you know, fish keeping is for nerds. I'm like, okay, I'm a nerd, so what are you gonna do now? It kind of makes it better for the students that aren't fish things, and I'm so nerdy and I own it so much that it takes away the bullying and the attention from the other students, so that it actually makes keeping fish in my school cool. And there are kids I don't even teach that just stop by my classroom on the way back from lunch, and they'll come back and just look at my fish tank like, can I look at your fish today? I'm like, yeah, go for it, go look, you know, it's great. Pickled Pleco, what if their fish gets sick or their fish die? Then they learn from it. They make a video, say, hey, this is what happened, this is why it happened. I want them to learn from it, and you know, this is how I prevent it in the future, and this is what I would like to do, and I would like to apply again. And they start off at the I guess the level below them, or at the very beginning level again. So very good question, very good thing to think about. DPK says, I was thinking to get a blood pressure test kit and a heart rate monitor so I can test the health benefits of viewing a fish. That's a really awesome idea. I'd be interested in doing that, and just it's a really cool project. Make sure though, DPK, that you have controls, and it's very as many constants as possible, like same time of day, like maybe it's just after dinner or whatever, or you didn't have any caffeine, right? So make sure you have as many constants as possible. Steenfont says, you would care a lot less about what people think of you and actually realize how little they actually think. You're absolutely right, Bob. Thank you for that point, because what I always try to tell my students is, sorry, there's a moth. Ooh, squirrel. Or I always tell my students is, like, I ask them, hey, students, raise your hand if you get nervous or worry about what people are thinking about you when you go throw your trash away in the cafeteria at lunchtime, and most of them raised their hand. And then I asked them, I said, how many of you actually judge other students for, oh my gosh, look at them, they're going to go throw their trash away. Or my, can you believe they're carrying their tray like that? And zero hands go up, because no students actually judge other students for going and throwing their trays away. So Steenfot Aquatics, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, Bob. DBK Fish Aquariums, this is actually a good idea for a project. When I was in high school, I went home with a huge headache, and it was going there 15 minutes of washing my aquarium. That's awesome. That's awesome background research there. Since my niece is OCD and ADHD and hyperactive, I go on to see the benefits for her condition. It would be good. I think it would be a great energy outlet. And I actually, DPK, I do find that with a lot of my students that do have ADHD and a lot of things like that, they to think for them to focus their energy on and all their attention on. So I'm gonna give you like this. Have about 10 minutes left. I told my wife I'll keep this to an hour tonight. I know I can get going on this forever. I'm so excited if you can't tell. Thanks a lot. And Middleton's fish keeping is stressful. It can be whenever you lose fish. The internet. Compare fish and TV. People don't watch. Yeah, I don't watch TV very much. I mean, I watch Netflix, but I mostly watch YouTube videos and live streams. I'm going to slowly Googling. Yeah, we have YouTube. You're absolutely right. We need to take the nerding out of fish keeping. Yeah, nerding out. Yeah, I don't think it's nerdy at all, but that's just my biased opinion. Hey there, Dave. Dave's on deck, everybody. Here we go. Color green and tanks help to relax vision tension. That's absolutely right, DBK. In classrooms, a lot of teachers do like to have light green colors. It does help to calm students down sometimes. Who said that? Rutu, aquariums are old school fidget spinners. Absolutely right. I concur with that. Yes, everybody go sub. Everybody go sub. Like Michael's Fish Room said, definitely go sub Michael's Fish Room. His content is awesome. If you haven't already, go sub David Betancourt's Aquariums. Go sub TBK Fish Aquariums. Pickled Placo, Steenfot Aquatics. If you haven't already. Bob, gotta go. Wife aggro. Well, Bob, see you, Bob. Kayla C just subbed. And okay, so I'm glad everybody subbed. Yeah, make sure everybody goes and subs. So that's my idea. So thank you to everyone who bounced some ideas off of me, gave me some feedback, gave me some criticism. I appreciate constructive criticism. Definitely open to it. Anyway, so I think you're onto a great idea. If I can help in any way, you want mentioned in any future video, let me know. Yeah, once I get this into an actual video, I would appreciate I guess just links to the whole video explaining process kind of thing. That would be a really really nice way of explaining or getting the word out there, would be just having a link to it. Freshwater aquariums, you're absolutely right. I should have a science fair, but with DIY aquariums is a great idea. Jimmy, I've been talking about you a lot tonight, so I guess I don't have the reverb, so I'm sorry I don't have the reverb like Sergeant Tanks does. To summon the sashimi, to release the Kraken. But thank you for stopping by, Jimmy. Good night, Sergeant Tanks. Have a good night. Hope everything's going well. Hope you're getting some nice rest and everything from all your YouTube craziness. Being shared on Facebook when I heard, you're absolutely right. Anything. So that's basically it. Is the ways that you can help. I mean, just absolutely free ways, not like a highway, but free ways to help is just by sharing the videos once I get them made and posted about the whole process of, hey parents, this is what would be involved in process, students, this is what would be involved in process, and all of this, because what I would plan to do with these is put links to all the Fish Fam channels. and say, hey, go check out these channels for more info, go check out these videos for more info. So I would be kind of, I guess the saying is scratching your backs too, I think is the saying. I'd be definitely repaying the favor and putting links to your videos and your channels as well. Very good question, Lumpy Dog. Why do we park on a driveway and drive on a parkway? And thank you for stopping by. 3 a.m. is pretty late here, so thank you for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. And then the other way, monetarily, and I don't like asking for this, but once I do get to 1,000 subs, the super chats would go towards this program. Hooked on Fish is what I'm calling it loosely for right now. So that's the two ways: the free version, and then obviously the paid version, because that way I feel like people from across the country could help to support the hobby for the next generation, and I'd be doing the work as far as the lesson and the science and all the teaching aspects of it. The local fish store guys would be dealing with the supplies aspects of it, and so be doing as much of it for free for as cheaply as possible. And I was trying to figure out the bare basic what the actual cost would be to get a student started with this whole thing, like each kit to get them going. Would be great, because I know that there's like 10-gallon starter kits, and I know you can do it for much cheaper than that. So that's my idea. I appreciate all your feedback that you all have done on here tonight. I appreciate all the constructive criticism, all the other ideas, those from Fish in the Corner and other people have posted a lot of great ideas. I really appreciate it so much. I also appreciate, thank you in advance for sharing these videos that will be coming out later on. That will be sharing the hobby with the future generation, or the next generation. And it'll also be, it'll link back to your channels as well. So I'm really excited about it. If you can't tell, I've finally calmed down a little bit now. Kind of starting to ease it on out, because we're about 3 minutes left. Longfin is a recessive gene in Plecos. It's definitely a selectively bred gene. I have not owned a Pleco, I don't think, ever in my entire life. Because the budget for extras beyond what the store gives them, for example, a gift card for like $10 ornament. Right, that's a good idea. I like that idea. If you could hold a flue ball in place like that, it can do any help. And Rob Hicks, that would be my tank dream, to eventually expand that to help to get bigger businesses and bigger companies into helping out or sponsoring it, which would be advertising for them. Fish food companies. David, I'm pretty sure as long as there's enough tank space for them to be separated visually from each other, like the pairs once they pair off. And I mean, my local fish people say that the German blue rams, whenever they get them in, they have to only put a pair in each 10-gallon tank, so that they don't bully the other fish. So anyways, like I was saying, is that is my eventual goal, is to have large fish companies sponsor this, and that would definitely help with the cost a lot and be out advertising for them, and it would obviously be helpful for the local fish store, and it would get more, hopefully, attendance at my local fish club, and like I said, get more kids in the hobby, more students in the hobby. It would be a teachable moment for them, and it'd teach them lots of STEAM, science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics. So it'd be a lot of STEAM based stuff that they could do with that. So thank thank you everyone for stopping by tonight. Once again, I appreciate all your feedback and ideas. And if you're watching this on the recorded version, if you have any ideas or comments, once again, please just comment below. If you haven't already done so, make sure you subscribe. Click the like button if you like it. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down and let me know what I could do to make it better. Maybe, Michael, I will email you about a sponsor, and I would definitely be up to any ideas. Fish in the Corner says, good ideas. I'm here to spread anything around schools if you need me to. I'm high school and probably get many people interested. And Fish in the Corner social media. High schoolers can spread things around like crazy when it comes to social media stuff. I know, so let's spread some good stuff on social media. So anyways, yeah, Fish in the Corner, I made you a mod because of all your great ideas here tonight. So good job and thank you once again. So everybody, thank you. So make sure everybody goes and subscribes to everybody on here. Make sure you subscribe to me. That'd be great. I definitely appreciate it. Give me to my 1,000 mark, and then I can turn on super chats, and that super chat would go to Hooked on Fish. Once I talk to more of the local fish store guys, turn on the notifications, because this summer I do plan on doing more pop-up live streams. I did one yesterday afternoon, live on location. That was pretty cool. Rob Hicks says, start writing your ideas down, big and small. There's a lot to do, guy. And here for you to get the super chat going. And thank you very much, Rob Hicks. I do write a lot of my ideas down in my notes or my Google Keep thing, is where I put a lot of ideas down. That's one of my strengths, is ideas. And I will be watching this or listening to this stream again, so that I can absorb and think about and kind of work out and add in all the great ideas from everybody on here tonight, and all the critiques as well. So thank you once again, everybody. I really appreciate it. So go sub to everybody, and keep it fishy, people.